Hey, what's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? Your only friend is YouTube Streets Puerto77, back with another video. Sorry I couldn't have the podcast today. As you can see, in the hotel once again on a work trip for the rest of the week. But this Friday, I will be able to go live. I have Post Up as a special guest. We'll do a one-on-one. We're going to chop it up, talk games. We're just going to talk what he's been up to, catch up on some old times, reminisce on some memories and stuff like that. And as you know, I'll be doing two lives, podcasts every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and a one-on-one live or solo live, depending if I'm able to get a guest or not. Also 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So same time, one on Tuesdays, which is the podcast with the crew, and then one on Friday for the solo live. And I'll try to get, any guests I can for one-on-ones and for you guys to enjoy. So be there Friday, But for now, let's talk about two things, right? Two things that we're going to have the conversation. The first conversation is, I'm going to be honest, not impressed with the topics now that Xbox gamers are coming up with. It's low grade topics now. Now I don't know what they're doing. It's not even worth arguing anymore. It's just, you know what I mean? Have you seen the stuff they're talking about? They're talking weird stuff now. They're talking about, the whole you pay, I play, or, if PlayStation gamers buy Microsoft first party, it will destroy PlayStation first party because now PlayStation gamers won't be interested in PlayStation first party. It's some weird conundrum. That one's probably even weirder because PlayStation is home to many of the biggest selling games. We had PlayStation got Grand Theft Autos or just Red Dead Redemptions, right? I remember even Final Fantasy back in the days was a huge seller. Fortnite free to play, one of the most played games. Call of Duty, right? Elden Ring, and there's so many games we could talk about. Black Myth Wukong, right? But there's so many games we could talk about throughout the generations of PlayStation that sold immense, biggest sellers. Madden's, Football Club, FIFA, the list goes on. And none of that impacted, PlayStation first party titles. I mean, at the end of the day, I would say a PlayStation first party title selling really comes down to the game itself. Is it a game people want to play, You got the Naughty Dog games, which generally sold great, fantastic, right? God of War, ever since it did its new change in 2018, sold fantastic. Spider-Man sold fantastic. Ghost of Tsushima sold fantastic, right? It just really comes down to the game. If people want to play the game, they're gonna play it. They're gonna buy it. I don't see how one game impacts the other. I could maybe see launch numbers, right? Things like that. Like if Grand Theft Auto 6 and Ghost of Yotai launched the same day, then I could see that. But that's just really competition between that day. But if a person wants to play Ghost of Yotai, they might go play Grand Theft Auto 6 first and then later on get Ghost of Yotai. But anyway, it's these stupid conversations now that's just, they're not, all that shows me that over the last couple of years, really, they don't really have creative thought processes or creative topics, I think they just simply survived on the conversations of power, which failed. The conversation of the impact of what Series S can do, failed. The impact of what Game Pass can do, failed. And then finally, ABK acquisitions, things like that, right? And I think the last thing they had to hold on was just exclusives, which is a pretty easy argument and topics to talk about, but now they lost that too. So what they got left? Man, they really don't got nothing creative. So now they coming up with these weird high engagement grifting topics, and it's just not even really as whatever. You know what I mean? It's like at this point, it's not. It's going to be interesting seeing the content they make going forward because it might not be interesting. It might be like, man, this is just a waste now, just conversation. But it is what it is going forward, right? Next thing I want to talk about is once again the rumors of Steam console potentially. Just circulating. There was an account that debunked it. We don't know. At this point, if there's a little bit of smoke, there might be some fire, right? I will say this. I don't know exactly if Steam is going to do something or not. But I would say this, it would make sense if they try again. I'll say that. I don't know if the rumors are true. It could be completely off. But it would make sense if they tried again. And the reason why is the console market is a big market. Don't let these Xbox fanboys and PC fanboys, whatever, tell you different. It is a huge market, right? And that huge market relies on consoles to sell the product to gamers, right? You need a console to buy the games, and that's how the console market thrives, right? And right now, it seems like the primary consoles, where the majority of money will be spent on, is between Nintendo and PlayStation. Those are the, and then there was two, right? As you can say. And I don't know if Valve is just going to simply let that happen and not try to get into that money, because Valve really knows the value of having a marketplace. Right now, their marketplace is primarily PC with Steam. They don't really have a marketplace in the console market, right? And now that Microsoft's pretty much bowing out or having very little relevance in console, Valve could be like, you know what? We could be the third console, right? And I could see them taking a stab at it. It'll be interesting. My big interest would be, what do they do? How well do they design a good console OS and good console stuff? That might work. Obviously, they already have a huge, robust library, right? They'll port it over. It most likely will be Linux based. So it's pretty much, I would say, every game that the Steam Deck can play, it's going to be pretty much what the console can play. So it's but it's going to be more powerful hardware. So there'll probably be more games and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting how that works. The big part is, how does Sony react, right? Right now, Sony doesn't see PC as a threat, right? They consistently say they don't see an issue with PC, right? So that's why they put their games on Steam. Steam is a marketplace store for PC. But what if Steam does make a console, right? And now it's literally a product where people can go, do I get a PlayStation or do I get a Steam machine, right? And how does Sony will look at that? And that changes everything. So that's going to be the interesting stuff. That's going to be interesting. The relationship Sony will continue to have with Valve, if Valve steps in with a product that is a competitive product versus the PlayStation. And make no mistake, Valve will do that. Some people will say, well, Valve is getting, first party games from PlayStation. They might, lose out money. Valve don't give a shit about that. You think Valve cares about a few IPs from Sony? You think they care about a Spider-Man, God of War, and all that stuff, when they could go after the Call of Duties, the Maddens, right? They don't got Madden. I don't think Madden's on Steam, and neither is college football, right? Even MLB The Show and stuff like that. But, if they go out to the console market, they'll get insane amount of money from the third party, which is much bigger than Sony's first party offerings that they get. So they could be like, it's the truth, right? If you ask Valve, access to the console market as a storefront, so you can have access to all these third party titles that console gamers play, or worry about Sony's first party that they put on Steam on PC. Well, I was gonna get that. That's pennies, worthless, absolutely worthless compared to the insane amount of games console gamers buy. Valve will definitely choose that over Sony's first party. So it's going to be interesting, right? But anyway, those are my just two thoughts. I think Valve might do it, and I can see why. And I would love to see Sony's reaction and see how that goes going forward. And it's competition stuff, right? But anyway, just a quick video. Let me know what you think. Again, I'll see you guys Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I got Post Up as a special guest. And I hope to see you guys soon, all right? You guys take care. Peace.